Welcome to Chaotic Harmony. My name is John.
This is Crystal. We talk about the joys and the challenges of teaching music in the elementary school classroom.
We share struggles, we brainstorm solutions.
And we would love to have you join us.
Welcome to another episode of Chaotic Harmony, episode 114 for the week of May the 21st. I am one of your hosts, Jonathan Seligman, and today I am joined by the YouTube queen herself, Miss Sasha Stone. How are you, Sasha?
Doing well. I don't know if YouTube queen is the right term, but I appreciate it.
We look at the numbers and who dominates, it's you. It's a fact. No one has taken your throne, so by a long shot, actually. So
Wow.
if you want to invite the same people you invited before, like by all means, send me my way. Let this reign of Sasha Stone continue.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you.
So it's May. How's your May going?
Well, today was a Tuesday,
Okay.
and it feels like a Thursday.
Is that what you want, or is that how it feels?
I'm Thursday tired.
Okay. Okay. You're
So
feeling Thursday.
I'm feeling Thursday tired when I still got 3 more days to go. So, I go all the way till June 11th. So I have a month more.
You have a week more than we do.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
hmm
Well,
So just gotta keep on keeping on.
keep on keeping on. I give you my salutes from afar. Wish you the best.
Thank you.
But yeah, it's a really good, by the way, Sasha, to have you on the team. We mentioned that we are adding new faces to this chaotic, harmonious bunches of oats. I don't know, things. So uh, we're glad to have you as one of our rotating faces because you're awesome and
Thank you.
it's nice to have royalty on our podcast.
Okay.
So.
I appreciate that.
As a reminder to our listeners, this is Chaotic Harmony, the podcast where we talk about the joys, struggles, and all thing adjacent to music education, elementary music education. Last week, Genesis Santos and I, share the genesis of Genesis and his thoughts on music education. It was really good to have him. And yeah, it's great to also have him as another member of our chaotic family. Next week is kind of a mystery. May is a hard month, and planning for who's to come is hard, especially as we go into this more live space as opposed to the what do you call batches we used to do back in the day. So
Pre-recorded.
which
Yeah.
was convenient for this kind of situation,
For sure.
but alas. So it's a mystery. So check the socials to see what if there will be an episode at CH Classroom. But today we have Sasha. We were supposed to have Genesis and Crystal on today on how we program events, but we decided to take a little bit of a detour. We talk a lot about what happens within our classes at Chaotic Harmony, but we also recognize that we are directly affected by the things outside of our four walls. So Sasha, on Saturday, I ran into you.
Surprise.
Or maybe you ran into me. I don't know. You were charging at me. I was like, who
No,
is this
I was
person?
doing the airplane fly. Like when you
Oh,
score a goal in soccer.
okay. I was very confused.
Yeah, you
Mainly,
didn't recognize me for a while.
well, I mean, the last time I saw you was the chapter share
Yeah.
that we had. But I don't know. Since we were amidst of a lot of other faces, like who is this person with sunglasses in a rainbow shirt? I don't know. And unexpectedly, and he showed up, and I said, "Oh, it's Sasha. Hey." And we were both at the California Fight for Schools rally. So, in your own words, Sasha, like, what was it? What was this whole rally that we were fighting for schools in California?
It was a event that was put on by our overarching union. So California Teachers Association is the union that kind of manages or the organization that helps to manage our unions within California. And they put on rallies in several different places, San Francisco, San Diego, Hayward, no, Sacramento, maybe
Sacramento.
Hayward, Sacramento, and Los Angeles. I know there's another one, and I'm sorry that I forgot you. Um, and it was a collection of educators coming together to let the current political climate know that educators are not going to be backing down when it comes to providing the best thing that we can for our students. So there was a lot of different people there. There was members of the community. There's members of the union. So at least for me, my union is a certificated union. So we don't have classified, but I know that there's classified
Mm.
members in other teachers' unions. Just depends on the district. Students were there, and it was a really cool experience to see all of these different people all together. And the CTA president came to San Diego, so
Yeah,
pretty neat.
that was pretty powerful.
Yeah.
And so, in case you individuals are just focused on just their kids and they're not really as aware of what's going on in broader political climate, specifically for education, um, could you explain what are we pushing back against? Like you're saying that we want to make sure that we are seen, we're heard. Heard in what regards exactly?
So I know that there's a lot of cuts coming, being spoken of, lots of cuts at the federal level that would disproportionately affect our students with different learning needs, students with special needs, our deaf and hard of hearing students, students with transportation problems, students with food insecurities. Basically, the majority of that funding is wanting to be pulled for various different reasons. And of course, we don't know how it's going to affect us at the state level because California, we're a huge economy. We have a ton of, tax dollars. However, there, our students rely on federal funding when it comes to getting their needs met. And with everything that's happening in the world, we can't let them take away food for our students, who, for some of them, is the only 2 meals they get a day for free. And, our students who have special needs, different needs, they need funding. Our rural students in rural communities are really affected because a lot of the time it can be difficult to get quality teachers out there, get the programs that they need, and they rely a lot on federal funds to support those programs, migrant education programs, adult education programs. If you look outside of the school community, just from your classroom or just your school, and there's a big network that supports how school happens,
Mhm.
and a lot of different steps along the way are going to be affected if there's federal cuts.
Yeah.
And teachers, educators, members of the community came together to basically say that you're not going to touch our schools. And that was the fight for schools. We're
Yeah.
fighting for what makes school school.
Yeah. And I think another thing that is to add to that, I feel like a lot of people aren't really like they think of educate. Oh, I shouldn't say I'm being a straw man right here, but like a lot of it's easy for us to think that education is just this institution that is untouchable, but also there are other options. There's always been other options, and I think that's always been the
Right.
thing that's been offered by people on all sides of the spectrum. Like privatizing education has always been an option, but I think that what people forget is that when we start pushing towards privatized education, first off, as you mentioned, students with special needs, that's not required amongst schools in the private sector. And if it is offered, it's very expensive.
Hmm.
And there's a lot of layers to that as well. And you mentioned something about like the food is something that I think a lot of people forget is that we offer meals. We offer meals to students. And if you can afford it, great. But if you can't, that's like essential.
It's
That's,
essential.
yeah.
I
Hmm.
mean, there's students who leave campus on Friday, and the next secure meal they know they're going to get is Monday morning when they come for breakfast, because food insecurity is real, and it affects so many members of our community in San Diego. But I know across the state and across the country, as prices are higher, it's becoming a real it could become a real make or break for families, whether they're going to buy a lunch or if lunch is provided, that saves them, $3 for groceries, for other meals, for gas to get to their
Hmm.
jobs. Those those things, they add up.
Yeah, and so as educators, it's maybe I guess we're preaching to the choir here. I'm gonna say pun intended here, but like we as teachers do more than just give facts to our kids. We offer something bigger than that, and that's what public education, also private education as well.
Hmm.
But this being
Yeah.
specifically about the fight for our schools, like um, in this current political context, I think, yeah, we offer so much, and I think if we need. I think it was really important for us to get out and showcase to the streets, like, hey, we're not just here to teach our kids; we're here to offer something that's bigger to our community.
Yes.
Um,
And that we want to be here for our community. That's something that that really struck home with me, is that there are other people who care about their community. And you know, if one voice, people think one voice doesn't make a difference, but there were several people alongside us on Saturday.
Yeah, it was really cool. Like, so, let's, yeah, so it was a march. Let's come and talk about the structure because we arrived there. There were some speakers at first.
Hmm.
Did you, I feel like you're more in the know than I am. Like, did you recognize some of the faces of the speakers? Who?
Yes. Yeah. So, one of the members are our CTA regional board member. I think that's what the classification is. Basically, she represents our district, which is, I want to say District F, but I could be completely wrong because sorry, but my union map might not be up to date. But for those of you who don't know, I am very involved with my local union and have gone to several CTA trainings. They're pretty well done, and I just can't remember the structure, and I'm embarrassed to say that, but it's May.
It's May.
Um,
We man.
but yes, so our president was there. Our regional representative of San Diego was there. She spoke, and then there was a person from the college union, I think, was
Yeah.
one of them. I might be mixing up uh, who exactly each person was, but there was a few that I recognized, and was kind of like, oh yeah, I feel like I've seen you before. And it was cool to hear all the different perspectives.
Yeah. Is there anything that spoke to you during that section? Any words that you like resonated or bits that stuck to you?
I think that it was just nice to hear other educators say, like, agreeing with things that I feel and hold dear to my personal educational philosophy and my personal views when it comes to these things. I think for me, one of the very, very big ones for the whole day was the push of education over deportation. That one
Mm-hmm.
really stuck with me because I know that families at my school and in my community have been affected by that. I'm sure with yours as well. And then the other one was so she said something along the lines, I can't remember which woman it was, but that they were trying to take food from our babies and we don't let them do that,
Mm.
which the cuts to, the free and reduced lunch. That's what that was. And yeah, that really hit home for me.
Yeah, yeah. And like they were adding on to like, it's not just one meal. It's
No,
sometimes it's three meals. Like it's the whole
right.
thing. And
It's,
I think like as we enter where people are talking about, hey, education is failing in America, so it says such such such. There is like, well, part of it is not like I was watching this little clips, like this one person blamed educators. Like, no, it's multiple factors. It is, what is it? What's the phrase we like to use? Um, Maslow before Bloom.
mm-hmm.
It's like
Uh,
focus
the,
on the basic needs before we start doing rigor. Like that's
mhm.
just vital for us. Um,
Right. Because kids are not going to learn if they're hungry.
100%.
One of the things that really shifted how I teach
Mm,
and manage behaviors that are unusual for a student is I'll be like, "Okay, can I talk to you, John?" And I like pull him aside and I'm like, "What did you have for breakfast today? What'd you have for lunch?" Just because sometimes they're hungry, but they're 7. Their frontal lobe isn't completely developed.
Yep.
They they just know they're hot and they were running around and they didn't eat, and so they don't know how to tell me I'm hungry and I'm grumpy. You know, they're not going to learn if they're hungry. I
Right.
can't focus when I'm hungry, and I'm an adult
Hmm.
who I can check in and say, "Oh yeah, I'm hungry." But that's one of the first things that I say, and that shifted to how I teach because not blaming it on the kid, but external factors that are out of their control.
There are so many factors. Yeah, what we do is not a input output such kind of job. It is so many factors. And I like what you said. Like this really being amongst other people there that had a similar perspective was relieving. It
Hmm.
was extremely relieving. Like it's like I posted this on my social media, but it's easy for me to think because I only teach, I only teach within my 4 walls. It's easy for me to focus on the day-to-day job, and then I go home and I see on social media a bunch of rocks being thrown at educators, and it's like, do people see what I see? Do people even understand it? And to have the masses of people that were there. Mind you, it could have been more. I hope the next time there will be more, but there was still a
Hmm.
good size. And to have all of them support the ideals that I have, that all kids are deserve a quality education. All kids
Hmm.
deserve basic necessities is like
Hmm.
was encouraging. And
Yeah.
for me, I was like a nerd. I was taking some notes on my phone, and so some quotes that stuck with me is like, "Our differences are not deficits; they are meant to be celebrated." It's like,
Hmm.
well, so another one was, "We need an economic system where you can work one job so you can so you can help your children. Blame the bigger system over the teachers." That was
Hmm.
paraphrased, but like,
Yeah.
yeah, like, and when we fight for our schools, we are modeling what it looks like to fight for our communities.
Yeah.
Those were 3 things that stuck with me. That, like, as you mentioned, yes, we're not just here to defend our job. We're here to defend our community.
Yes. Yeah. And a lot of people's signs, because they had signs that said, "I'm fighting for," and then you could write in, the majority of the signs said, "My students,"
Mm.
or my classrooms, or my classes. But the students are always centered in, I feel the narrative needs to be about, what's best for students. That's a very standard way of operating in education.
Yeah.
And yeah, I didn't feel like it was about, "I need a raise." I felt it was about, how can my community survive and thrive moving forward?
And unfortunately, I feel like whenever teachers are gathered, unfortunately, the topic of money is often talked about. But
Right.
this is forced us to come together to fight for something that's bigger than us.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Mm.
And
Yeah.
yeah, sorry, continue.
No, no, but no, that's all good. There was talks and then we marched. For those who are familiar with San Diego, we started over at Roosevelt Middle School, which is right by the San Diego Zoo, and we marched all the way through Park Boulevard and crossed through Balboa Park and over Cabrillo Bridge and into, I forget what that park is. Do you know? I feel like I should know, but alas.
The one that's closer to the ocean.
There you go. Yes.
If you've
Um,
ever run the San Diego Rock and Roll Marathon, that's where it starts.
mhm, mhm.
So, that place, right?
Exactly. Um, so it's a Saturday. First,
Yes.
oh yeah, it's a Saturday. It's a May, and I don't know about you, but it's been a busy season for me
Mm.
personally, in my personal life, and also my professional life. Like right after that, like there was events that happened that you're aware about, but a but and yet you and I still went to March.
Hmm.
So I feel like, as I think everybody that listens to this can agree, there is so much on the educator's plate. And in May, a lot of us have concert season or assessment season or whatever.
Hmm.
What do you gain by participating in this kind of event or any rally like this?
Hmm.
Like what value do you find participating in this march?
I think that it can be stigmatized to go to protests or go to marches or go to rallies, because there's it's always the extremes that are highlighted on the newsreel or on their social media, and that's you get like a 30-second clip of someone with very extreme views or someone who is riled up for the wrong reasons, or we don't see the whole day. You don't see all of the other things. You just see kind of the extremes, good or bad. And I think that certain people are instantly turned off by that because they're afraid of losing their job or being judged. Or, there have been protests and rallies and marches in the past that have had violent outcomes towards the end. And I think that people are nervous about that. I know that other educators who I talked to, they were nervous about just being part of it,
Mm.
whether it be for their political views or their personal views, or just it just wasn't something that was important to them. And you make time for the things that are super important to you. And for me, this was really, really important. I had a cold earlier in the week, and but I I wanted to align my values with my actions. And I didn't want to be 6 months from now and say something catastrophic happens with funding. I didn't want to have to look back and say, man, I really wish that I had gone to this, because that's the first kind of step into
Mm.
living your values, but also supporting what you believe in. Um, I also think I'm very community um, focused in a
Mhm.
lot of things, and it was nice to be among a community of people who also cared about their students and their schools.
Yeah, I definitely saw that for sure. Like I saw faces I had not seen before in a long time. People that used to go
Mm,
to our Orff chapter that aren't there anymore.
yeah.
I had like a student there that was like, oh, hey, so and so, like, and like connecting there, like
Yeah.
connecting with, like seeing you, like I
Yes.
was, like, charging at me as the airplane, like, and yeah, it was great to have people come together and like
Hmm.
support this cause. And I'm with you there also. Like, um, a few episodes ago, Crystal talked about that music educators are smugglers for humanity.
Mm.
And
Yeah.
I like that. I like that. And I like that we teach that to our kids. And I know how difficult this job can be, but if we aren't able to smuggle that in outside our classrooms, then yes, we are planting seeds for the next generation. But what about this current cycle? What about this current
Yeah.
generation? Are
Yeah.
we just going to leave it up to the lawmakers that don't get it? Or are we actually going to come together and try to have a positive stance on this world?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm sure you have high expectations for your students. And I think that our students have very high expectations for their adults in their life, whether it be their family members, their community members, their teachers. So I think it's our job to live up to the high expectations that they have of us.
Mm.
And going to something like this shows, maybe it doesn't show everybody, but I'm sure there was several students who, because I brought my Fight for Schools poster, it's
Mm.
behind my desk now in my classroom, with my personal billboard, and my pride flag and all of those things, behind my desk. They asked what it was for, and I just said, because if we don't get, what we need as a school, you are the ones who miss out. And that's
Yeah.
not fair. And you're a child. You shouldn't be calling lawmakers every week and bothering them. That's my job as your teacher.
Yes. Yes. I was talking to a coworker of mine, and where I could there have been some really difficult behaviors this year, stuff that I have not seen ever at my school site, and I am quite amiss at what is going on. And we were talking about like what's causing this, and I think one of there's so many factors. We can't just like pinpoint like, up there we go, done. You
Yeah.
know, if it was that simple, then we'd fix it. But like I think there's so many factors, and one of them is that there's this notion of hyper individualism that's
Hmm.
been really seeping through our society a lot. Society being not just in America, but across the world.
That's
And
yes.
I think the actions that you and I and all the 3,500 other people there that day, it showcased that it doesn't have to be. We don't
Right.
have to just focus on ourselves. Like what was on your side? I remember um
I had two
yeah,
signs.
was it the Freire quote?
Yeah. Um, One of them, I'm gonna paraphrase it, but it's oh my gosh.
I could pull it
Uh,
up on my
yeah,
phone.
pull it up.
I
Sorry.
pull it up. No, you're good. You're
I
good.
know. And then the other side, I had education and justice for all.
Yeah. When education is not liber I got words. When
We're doing so
education
good.
we're doing so good, we're crushing it. When education is not liberating, the dream of the oppressed is to become the oppressor. And
Correct. Yes.
honestly, I don't know. Like I don't know, but I'm seeing that. I'm
Hmm.
seeing that in my schools more and more prevalently.
Right.
Um, and
When you're not
yeah.
in control, if you don't feel in control, sometimes you create chaos and sometimes you create that control in ways that you can, which could be behaviors. It could be, we're not, their coping skills are different. They're just a
Mm.
set of different set of skills that we need to adapt to as adults, but it can be so overwhelming. It is very overwhelming.
Yeah. And it's me. And
Yeah.
it's me.
And it's May.
Yeah. Well, my last thing for you is like, is there anything you want to see from these kinds of events, be it from outside, like how people respond to it, or like how it's structured, or us bringing, there being more Gark lines as we all walk down the
No, I brought my
Sopranino.
sopranino.
Yeah. What
Sorry
were
to everyone who was there around me.
what were you playing again? And what was
I was
like the
playing the Solidarity Forever, which is one of the old Union um tunes. Solidarity forever, solidarity forever, solidarity forever, for the Union makes us strong. And I want to apologize for singing that in three different keys. This is this is why you never hear me do round of the week.
It's all good. It is all good.
Yeah, that one, and then I was playing some, just some other things too. Yeah, but going forward, of course we want all the people we agree with to be there, but my husband and I were talking about, he's also a music teacher, and we were talking about how we know people who have maybe different views than we do. And if they saw us in that march, they would not speak negatively of us because they know us as individuals. But when you look at it the whole, it's so easy to say, "Oh, it's just these educators are just stirring stuff up. They're just making problems." It's whatever it is. Could be any type of organization of a large group of people who have an opinion about something. It's
Mhm.
so easy to say all of those people da 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 da. But I think we know individually people on both sides of the political spectrum, and we have to kind of settle on our similarities. And I know, like, if someone saw me, the people we were talking about, they wouldn't think that I was causing a problem. They would be supportive of me, supporting my students and supporting their community. So I feel that it's a tough question. I just want
So
I
if sorry, if I'm understanding you correct,
What?
Are you
Yes.
asking that the people from outside, the people from those not marching to are would see us in a positive light or
We,
not see us negatively, or like would that rather that we when we march before we march that we are engaged enough with the people around us that they don't just see us negatively, but they see that we have a cause that's worth marching. Like,
sure. Yeah, I love that. But I guess I was saying like people who disagree with you, but who know you well. People who think that we should cut funds to education, but know you, love you, are supportive of you, part of your community. If they saw you out there marching and you're saying, I don't think we should cut public education funds. Here's all the reasons why. They the people who disagree with maybe that are not necessarily going to disagree with you because they respect and care about you.
Hmm.
And I think that we can start to build the divide with simple things like that. Like, I know that they're not going to hate me as a person.
Hmm.
I know that they would be happy that I'm supporting my community. And maybe just looking at not at the big picture of all of us, but who you know and love, and how can you connect with those people to kind of get a comment, a more, oh my goodness, I'm so sorry, everybody.
You're fine. You're fine.
Tuesday,
It's Tuesday.
it's May. Um, just like how can
Bridge
we
the gap.
become bridge the gap? Thank you. Yes. How can we bridge the gap with those people that we know first?
Yeah.
Because I think that it takes practice to deal with confrontation
Yeah.
and uh practice with the people who care about you. But yeah, I'm sure that there was people who were annoyed that the teachers took to the streets,
And
but
held up
and
traffic.
and yes, and I'm sorry, but a lot of the people who were there were older. They're not going to march as fast as John and I. And
Yeah.
that was a really cool thing to see
Hmm.
them, that they were still living their truths after retirement from education.
I mean, two things from that. Like, one, I'm noticing a lot of the people that are marching are older folks, and like, guys, what about you? Like, people who
Hmm.
are our age, there aren't a lot of people doing that. It's like, oh, we'll let someone else take care of it. Our jobs are busy. Like, we can't. We can't just let the people that are retired or the people who have been a part of, I don't know, I'm not going to assume anything, but like it's also our cause. So we all, I was sad to see how few of my friends were there. I had you, I had my partner, I had one of my colleagues, some people I recognized from afar, but that was it.
Hmm.
Sorry, the sirens are on our end. I don't know if it's coming through. Did you hear that or no?
A little bit, but not
Okay,
really.
cool. I know when they're driving. I hear podcasting or sirens. Ooh. Um, but also like I like what you say. The idea that it starts within the micro communities that we exist in, and I think it's easy for us. There's this mentality. I see it amongst a lot of it amongst people on the left, but it's really on all sides. Really, that it's like if you don't believe X, Y, and Z, unfriend me, block me. And like that's not healthy because I know it's not easy. It's not easy
Hmm.
to see people just being vehemently disagreeing with you, but that's what community, like that's part of community. And if we just like unfriend and close our eyes to what else is happening, then we can't extend our hands to the other side. We can't plant seeds so that when they see us marching, they can see us positively. Like we has to start with the people around us, and they might not agree with you, but that's okay. Find commonalities and find ways to bridge those gaps.
Right. I mean,
Yeah.
the majority of the educators that we work with and the people within our school community are in this profession because they care about kids. They care about their community. They might not be able to say that,
Mm.
but if you hear how they talk, they care about their students and they care about their community and they care about the betterment of the world that their kids or their grandkids live in.
They do. I like
They
that.
do. Yeah,
Mm.
They really do.
Well, Sasha, it was great running into you on Saturday, and also thank you for chatting about this. I know we were planning on doing another talk, but I felt like this was a important talk. Like we talk a lot about what happens, like how to do good classroom management and all that, and that's important. But also this is, and so thank you for spending time to chat with me about
Yeah.
um, this March. Um,
It was
yeah.
great. I was happy to see you there. I almost texted you as I was driving down because I was like, I
Mm.
bet John's gonna be there. And then long and behold, there you were in your beanie,
Bean and scarf. Yep,
beanie and scarf.
it's a 1-2 combo. Um, well, Sasha, thank you so much, and don't forget, we're still gonna talk more with Sasha after the break. Here at Chaotic Harmony, we talk a lot about Orff. And while we aren't Orff specific teachers, the Orff process plays a big role in the way all the co-hosts at Chaotic Harmony teach. If you keep on hearing this Orff stuff and are curious to learn more, summer is coming, which means a lot of places are teaching Orff Levels, including down here in San Diego. Orff Levels is a 2-week intensive where you learn the Orff process from amazingly seasoned teachers. Honestly, Orff Levels revolutionized not just how I teach, but created a deep bond with all the teachers I trained with. San Diego is having Level 1 from June 30th to July 11th. To register or just to learn more information, you can go to sdorf.org or, for shorter, just click in the show notes. If San Diego is too far away, though, I get it. There are a lot of other options out there, so check those out. But otherwise, if you can make it, go to sdorff.org to sign up for levels. And if you want that San Diego flair, you know, we got you here. Also, in checkout, if you write that Chaotic Harmony sent you, you'll get $50 off. So you can save, 4 burritos while you're down here. So that's sdorf.org. Check it out.
I want to take a quick break and thank my husband Brian, who's been working behind the scenes producing these episodes every week on all of the platforms and on time. But you need to know that he is first a financial planner for Mission Trails Financial. Mission Trails Financial is a partner that seeks to guide clients in the journey to financial success. They believe that people need a financial advisor that aims to provide strategies for success. Mission Trails Financial helps people navigate investments, tax planning, and insurance. Imagine working with an advisor who isn't tied to specific brands. Mission Trails Financial has a fiduciary responsibility to act in the best interests of their clients by providing independent, objective advice. Their mission is to help clients accomplish their financial goals. As Joe Vitale once said, a goal should scare you a little and excite you a lot. Do yourself a favor and set up a time to chat with Mission Trails Financial. There's no cost for an initial consultation. Visit www.missiontrailsfinancial.com or call 619-419-0238 to schedule a call. You'll be glad you did. We believe that leaning on professionals is how we get ahead. Check out the program notes for more information.
Welcome back to Chaotic Harmony, but as you all know, a left turn before we continue. Thank you all so much for being a part of this 100+ episode journey, whether you joined us back at episode 0 with Lauren Shelton or our new listener. Thank you so much. It means so much for us. It means so much for you to join us. And if you want this journey to continue with Sasha, me, Crystal, all the crowd now, please support the things you love. We have a Patreon, patreon.com//ch classroom, where you can get special merch and other things for the class. If you don't have a buck to toss our way, that's okay, especially during these economic times. I get it. But there are free ways to support us. Leave us a review on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, and you know the drill. We only accept 5. Only 5. To add, if you want to leave a written review, I will definitely read it. It's been a while since anyone's posted on the Apple Podcast, so please show us some love. That would be wonderful. Follow us on YouTube and socials. Leave us a like on the episode and write a nice comment. Oh my goodness, gosh. Some of these skibbities out there.
We're already bullied by our students enough during the day.
Gosh, dude, there's some weird comments like, bro, hug your mom. Gosh. Sorry, anyways.
Sorry.
No, you're good. I was the one that got off. All these things, small things, help ensure that these extracurricular things exist still. And we don't get bought up by like Lakeshore or something, So I don't know. I Lakeshore, I love them. If you want to buy us out, please don't. Please don't. That all said, Sasha, you mentioned at the at the march. My as I mentioned, my partner was there, and you and her were colluding against me. I wasn't a huge fan of that, and talking about how I've my speech is too fast. Hopefully, to the listeners over the past 100 episodes, I've gotten better. I don't know. Tell me.
You've gotten better, but here's a pro tip.
Okay,
Just listen to
bro.
the episode at like point 0.9 speed. That's what I do sometimes when I
Are
don't
you
understand you.
are you so you're telling the listeners to listen to point five
Tell
nine?
it, yeah, point
Okay,
like just
it's
throw
just
it, slow it down if you need to.
just a notch down. Okay, okay. Well, there you have it. Pro tip.
I think it's just because you have so much to give that if you don't say it all fast, we're not going to get all of it.
As I've always said, I feel like my brain moves faster than my mouth can move. So yeah.
I can see that.
That all said, it's another online episode. So it's time for us to bring back Sasha's favorite
No.
fake sheet. We got 10 books for y'all. And
10?
yeah, it's always been 10, except for the one with Mark.
But Mark had 5.
Yeah, that was me being lazy. I apologize. But we have 10 books for Sasha. Some of them are real, some of them are fake.
Mm.
And she has to get at least 7 for us to give her her flowers. So you have to, so yeah. Are you ready for fake sheet, Sasha?
Yep.
Alrighty. And this time, as I did last episode, I'm gonna give a little description for each one, just so like,
Oh,
just it's important that people know it. Like,
yeah.
it's not just like a book. It's like a book with, hey, maybe you might want to have this in your class. All right.
Mhm.
Number 1, The Pigeon Has Feelings Too. Real book or fake book?
Okay, but first of all, I'm gonna overthink this
I know you are, and that's the best
because
part.
because there's pigeon books.
It's true.
Pigeon, isn't that Mo Williams who does Pigeon and Elephant or Pigeon and Piggy?
Pigeon and Piggy.
Is okay, read it again. The
The
pigeon
pigeon,
has feelings.
the pigeon has feelings too. Real book or fake
I'm gonna
book?
say fake book.
The Pigeon Has Feelings Too, written by Mo Williams.
No!
Or sorry, Willems. Willems? Is it Willems? Willems? Someone let me know.
Willems.
It's
Willems.
Willems? Okay, okay.
Oh,
Just,
that is so embarrassing.
it's okay. It's okay. It's we're getting this out. We're getting this out. All right. So those who
Okay.
don't know, Pigeon going through a gamut of feelings and is asked to as it's asked to be on the school bus. So that's what it's about. Book number
Aw.
2. You gotta be kidding me, George. Real book or fake book? You gotta be
You
kidding me,
you
George.
gotta be kidding me, John. Oh man. I'm gonna say fake book. And then it's probably like a book about George Lucas or something.
I mean, it would be. You gotta be kidding me, George. Written by Jonathan
Oh,
Seligman.
thank goodness.
Hey, so we got 1 and 1. Okay, we're doing okay. We're doing
Phew.
okay.
At least it's not a shutout.
Yeah, yeah. That'll be embarrassing.
It
All
would
right,
be.
book number 3, The Carpet. Real book or fake book? The Carpet. Real book or fake book?
Fake book.
The Carpet, written by Dezh Azaad.
Oh,
So
tell me what it's about.
it's a book about an Afghan refugee that tries to connect with their home. So
Oh,
the carpet is kind of the place where the family comes to. So
oh, I love that.
yeah, so check it out, y'all. So we are now 1 for 2. Sorry, not 1 for 2, 1 and 2. So 1 point yay, 2 points. So you, I'm just saying how it is. Just
I
saying how it
know.
is. All right. Book number 4, All About Brains. Real book or fake book?
Real book?
Lock it in.
Yeah, I'm sure
Okay.
there's a book out there somewhere called All About Brains.
All About Brains, written by Lake Bell.
Oh,
All
phew.
righty. Okay. 2 and 2. This book is about it's a book that advocates for neurodivergent students and
Oh,
individuals.
love that.
Yeah. Um, going on to number 5. So 3 and 2. 2 and 2. 2 and 2. 2 and 2, because we're on book number 5. 2 and 2. You just aren't good enough. Sorry. Real book or fake book?
I think this is my memoir from when I was in music school.
You just,
I I think that was what was written on every single jury I ever took.
I think everybody had that.
I'm gonna say fake book.
You just aren't good enough. Sorry. Written by our professors. Fake book. Fake book. I was gonna call it Dr. Clemens, but he would never do that to us. Cool. All right. All right.
Sorry, that
No, I mean, actually, that's been this week for me, that book.
yeah.
So
We all go through it.
it's a May man. It's a May man.
May May
May May.
May May.
It's May May. So right now you are 3-2. Oh, doing okay. Doing okay. All right. So, book number 6. We're in this together. Leo's Lunchbox.
Oh, I feel like I know this book. I'm gonna say real book.
We're in this together. Leo's Lunchbox. Written by Raphael Warnock or Warnock. Not sure if it's a German last name, Warnock
Yeah.
or Warnock, but it's about a book about sharing what you have. So,
Oh,
yeah. So nice, nice, nice. Okay, we're getting back into the flow of things. So we're 4-2, or actually, from my perspective, 4-2. There we go, 4-2. Cool. Book number 7, The Rainbow Fish.
real book.
The Rainbow Fish, written by Marcus Pfister. All right, you read this book. It seems like you were.
Yes.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah.
I remember reading this book when I was a kid. It's like,
I've heard I've heard people bashing on it lately
oh, really?
because they don't like that the fish changes himself to fit in.
Mm.
And I can see that. However, I think if you're being a selfish person and you're hoarding all of your wealth, maybe you should redistribute that wealth. You might need to cut that part out.
I am not against
Sorry.
that. There is something to be said about like you don't change don't be the what's the girl in Greece?
Peggy?
Peggy? Yeah, don't be Peggy to change
Yeah.
just to be just for the guy. But in the same sense, hey, if you're hoarding all the goods, maybe you
Yeah.
shouldn't. Maybe you should be maybe you should just be kind. Just be kind, y'all.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I didn't know that, so good to know. Keep that in
Yeah.
mind.
I've seen a couple like back and forths on the teacher Instagrams
Gotcha,
about
gotcha.
it.
Okay. Well, also my summary, but to those who don't know, it's about a beautiful yet vain fish who overcomes his pride and shares with others.
Yeah, vain. I feel like I feel like it's okay to share with others when you're being a little vain. I hope that doesn't come back to
And
haunt me.
also, I think, I mean, again, I haven't read the book in a while, so maybe I could be wrong, but I think one people change. It's okay that people change. It's another thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway,
Growth.
we can talk about this. We could talk about this for another quarter of a podcast, not a whole podcast. Moving on. So right now, sorry, that was book 7. I think we're 5-2, 5-2. So we're good. We're doing good so far. You just need, I think, two
Two
more.
more.
2 more to win. Okay.
But
All
there's
right.
only 2 more questions,
3 more
right?
questions. 3 more. So you have
Okay.
room for 1 goof.
Oof.
All right. Boys don't fry. Real book or fake book?
What kind of fry? French fry? Fry food?
Boys don't fry. Real book or
They
fake
don't need to
book?
wear sunscreen?
No, in that context, they definitely do fry.
Hmm. Okay. I feel like this could be a fake book, but there's a lot of books about of like gendered stereotypical roles. And so maybe it's that the boys don't cook the food or fry the food. But this also sounds like a Jonathan Seligman special. So I'm gonna say fake book.
Boys Don't Fry, written by Kimberly Lee.
I'm so sorry,
So
Kimberly Lee.
you are absolutely correct. It's a book that challenges gender stereotypes of who can or cannot cook. And I've already did my, well, actually, well, no one knows.
Why are you telling me that?
I don't want to say anything else because like they don't want to throw you off. So
I've already done all of my fake books.
I don't want to say anything else. I don't want to say
I'm
anything
just kidding.
else.
Sorry.
So that's okay. So that is incorrect. So you are now 5 and 3. So you gotta get these 2 correct to get your points to continue your queendom essentially.
No, I lost one of them.
That's true, but still, you lost it to Jamie. So like it's okay. Like she's awesome. So you can
I
give her a
would
point.
gladly lose to her
Well, I
anytime.
think it was Jamie and Jasmine, but alas, no one knows.
Yeah.
No one knows. All right, book number 9. High School, the musical, the series, the children's book, the adaptation.
I hate this. John, I can't.
Real book.
Oh, why do you do this to me? Okay, read it again. Legally Blonde, the High School Musical.
High School, the musical, the series, the children's book, the adaptation.
Okay, I'm gonna say fake book. Oh, it's real.
It's fake. It's fake. It's fake. It's fake. No. Oh, so good. Too good.
That
Too
was uh,
good. I was having fun,
that was a very fun one. Thank you. I'm glad I didn't get that one wrong.
So you were 6 and 3. So last one, you need this one to win.
Okay.
From head to toe, a real book or fake book?
I think that's a real book.
You locking in?
Yeah, lock in.
From head to toe, written by Eric Carle. Yeah, we did this in level 1. We did this in level 1.
Yeah, I was gonna say it sounds. We love some Eric Carle. Did you know he used to make his own paper?
His own paper. It's not that.
The paper that's in his book, he used to make a lot of it. He would like recycle and make his own paper that he would make his collages out of.
I remember one of the books was very textured, and so that doesn't surprise me at all. That's cool. That's cool.
Cool guy.
Well, congratulations, Sasha. You win another episode of Fake Book. Next season, we're going to kind of organize this better so we can kind of have maybe I'll give you we'll have to get a trophy, a Chaotic Harmony trophy, and whoever wins the most,
I get a
something.
trophy.
Yes, you get a trophy
Sweet.
for that season. But alas, that is all for this episode of Chaotic Harmony. Thank you so much for joining, Sasha. It has been great chatting with you about it's great chatting about things that happened in the class. It's great. It was great chatting with you, Sasha, on
Always
stuff outside.
always great. Partner in crime.
Yeah. Well, Sasha, if people want to reach out to you, if you want to understand more about what it means to be an active member in the community like you are, how can they reach out to you?
They can send me an email at my school email is sasha.stone@smusd.org.
Awesome. And you can message me on the socials at Mr. Seligman, MrSeligman. Actually, I should say most of the socials. I'm really mostly just on Instagram nowadays and kind of on Blue Sky, not as much. And also TikTok. I forgot about that. But you can also message us at CH Classroom. We're on a lot of the socials as well: Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, good stuffs, Blue Sky. But also, if you want to email us, you can email us at chaoticharmonyclassroom@gmail.com. If you have a book to share, also I need to give a shout out. By the way, a lot of times when I'm like in a rush, I use my story book library. She has a wonderful set of Instagram reels that helps me get ideas for fake sheets. So go check her out. But also, anyways, if you have something you want to share with us, if you have something like a topic you want to talk about, or if you want to be on this podcast and chat about stuff, email us chaoticharmonyclassroom@gmail.com. Sasha, best of luck. We have for you 3 more weeks.
3 more weeks.
2 more weeks on my end. We got this. And we'll see you in the flippity floppity.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.